Warning! This video is extremely long and is purely build footage. For convenience, I will provide the following content notes. The first half hour is of me getting steadily more confused about the Scorpion tanks. After that, I begin work on the Mantis. An hour in, the main turret has been completed, the backup turret being completed 15 minutes later. I become a complete Scrooge trying to save every bit of volume I can around the 2-hour mark. The Mantis becomes operational and final testing and tweaking occurs in the last 20 minutes. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello there everyone, this is Iron Mark 3 and welcome back to another intermission video in the From the Ashes... I'm messing things up already. From the Ashes of the Empire campaign in From the Depths. I got the names mixed together for some reason. Not the first time it's happened. And yes, another intermission video. This should be the last one in this set, so that's the third one in total, because this video I'm going to tinker a little bit more with the Scorpion based on the feedback you guys have been giving me, and then I'm going to go and rework the ASB into a full-scale production version which hopefully won't die in every single battle it runs into. Also, as a small tidbit actually, the ASB costs 30,000 resources, the Scorpion 2 cost 9,500 or so, the Scorpion 3 costs 16,500, so one of these is about half the cost of an entire ASB. That's the price of the upgraded laser system. Still though, it is pretty good, I think. That extra long barrel changes the appearance, but there you go. Now then, first comment I want to address, well, first suggestion slash hint slash what the heck am I doing and stuff like that. Apparently you said one of the Q switches was being shared among things. Those are all clear. Those are clear. Those are clear, so it's not at this end. Okay. That means if there's one being shared, it's got to be at this end, along here. Let's see. That's only got 2, that's only got 2. And then that's only got 2, and that's only got 2. So, no. I'm sorry, but it seems you were mistaken, because each of these switches has, each of these chambers has 2 Q switches on it, and none of them are actually being shared to form a 3Q. Unless it's this one. Ooh. Aha. It's this one, is it? Okay, yep, that. I missed that one. Even looking over it again, I missed that one because it looked like it was just going that way and not... I stand corrected. Well spotted. How can I fix this? This will be a slight downgrade to the laser's power. Oh well. Can't be helped, I suppose. Switch that to split mode, remove that, put those there. I can take out those 2 pumps, they're not connected to anything anymore. So that's fine, and well, there's a little bit of extra space here. Let's reinforce the armour slightly on this upper section to help withstand impacts. So there we go, a little bit of extra armour, slight downgrade to the laser, but the Q switching problem has been fixed. So again, good catch. I completely missed that. And have I missed this internal space as well? I have. Oh, look at me. I thought I'd packed this thing, but... Oh, wait. Steam engine on that side. Are the steam engines uneven? Oh no, it's because I installed the RTG on this side. And yes, there's the RTG system. And there's the electric engine just down there. So apparently I've got a little bit of extra space. 5 blocks worth. What should I use that for? Does this thing actually have any repair systems on it? Like repair tentacles? Yes, it does. They're packed in at the sides there. There's the ACBs that control the shields and the steam engines. I'm thinking a little bit more resource storage is probably the best way to go here. So let's install some more oil tanks. And then a metal block there for a little bit of extra resistance. So yes, there we go. Oh, there was a gap on that side as well. Silly me, I really thought I'd packed this thing, but it turns out I didn't. Not quite. I stand corrected. Very much so. But that should do okay. Now the question is, what has that done to the laser? The laser's control block is here. So if I sustain its fire... Oh yeah, it's not really working because the steam engines are off. So I can't check it. Still, it'll do over 2,000 damage consistently because it's only lost 2 pumps and no storage space, so that should be just fine. Let's undock this thing quickly and get a new version saved. Because I need to run this thing up to speed to actually get the total velocity it can do. Oh, it's still charging up, so it's not actually at full power. Come on. Come on. You can do this. Actually, I should use the space for another RTG. This thing is not... Well, it's because its laser is still charging up, but... yeah, sharing it is really not going well. Okay. This design has flaws, ladies and gentlemen. The RTG is just fine when it's not charging the laser. When it is recharging the laser, this tank suffers greatly because it's just not powerful enough. Yeah, I think the best option is just to fire up the steam engine. So cancel that and then test fire that to get the steam engines up to speed. There we go. It's that flipping laser. It's the laser and how much power it is. Since I dispatched this... excuse me. I'm really... Damn it. Since I spawned this thing fresh, it didn't have its power and it didn't have its laser charged up, so that's why there's been this problem. Yeah. Enemy range less than... There we go. That'll cut things off. Very quickly test the laser while I've got it at speed. Where's the laser block? Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, that'll work about the same rate, I think. And that's also told me its speed as well, so okay, yes, save that. You are sorted. Whew. That was a bit more complex than it had to be, wasn't it? Stupid power saving options. Let's get back here. And bring back that scorpion as well. Okay, the next thing I need to do is to actually modify that scorpion when it gets back here, which means turning the power back on actually. Ah. This is going great, isn't it? Might as well get started on this anyway. Wood blocks, wood beams. I need to make something so that it doesn't despawn immediately. Yeah, that'll do. That's big enough. So this will be the starting point for the new... Wait, is that a building? Yes, that's a building. Ah, I'm making all the mistakes today. Sorry. Least coherent intermission video ever. That's what I think. No. No. You know what? Fine. I'm just going to build a new vehicle straight off this one. New vehicle. There we go. Change you to some wood beams just to make sure you don't despawn. Fine. Yeah, you can tell I'm not doing too well, can't you? Select that. Come back. Okay, that one is now locked in place. Fine. Scorpion has returned. Also fine. Now, next thing to do to the Scorpion. A common theme for quite a while actually, like 3 or 4 videos where the Scorpion's been involved, is you guys telling me to just flat out don't go for DPS, go for raw power on the laser. And you've been saying this quite repeatedly, so I'm going to say fine, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to build a variant of the Scorpion which operates how you've been telling me it's supposed to be done. Let's see, this is the idea here is, well, the Scorpion was always built as a DPS over anything else, so initial bursts were not important. The idea is to shred as many blocks out of a target as quickly as it could. So that's why high sustained DPS, high power requirement, high rate of fire. But you've been telling me to let it charge up to maximum, which is, let's get into here. Where's the block? There's the block. So they'll do 5,200 at full power. And sustain, this thing will do... Yeah, it's still pretty good. Sustained it'll do... Yeah, something like 2,300, 2,400-ish. Oh, no, it's dropping further. Where's it going to? Yeah, sustained it does just over 2,000 damage per... Yeah, DPS, damage per pulse, rather. Which is actually... 1,000. Yeah, it's actually 4,000 DPS, roughly. Okay. So how long does it need to actually charge back up to full power? That's the next question. Because that is what the idea seems to be here. Get this thing up to full charge. So again, that means I need to drain it. Yay! Okay. Okay, that takes roughly 15 seconds to recharge itself to full power. So at full power, this thing would actually operate every 15 seconds. That's 4 shots a minute. That is absolutely awful for doubling the firepower per shot. This DPS is drained considerably to do that, and I don't know why you guys actually want me to do this with such a small system. Is this why you guys wanted me to put destabilizers on this thing? Is that it? Because destabilizers would actually slow the rate of fire even further because it'll drain more energy, so it needs more energy to recharge it. So I'm getting confused here because my goal is still not to get raw damage out of this thing. You know? Like I said, though, there are some slots here where... Yeah, there's a couple of... Oh no, those are doublers. What the heck am I doing? What's the total stats of this thing? This thing is 28 AP, which is enough to overwhelm metal armor completely. Even if it's like Well, it won't overwhelm 2 meters of metal armor, it'll overwhelm 1 meter metal armor without any problems. Don't really want to drop the AP though. Oh, that said 7, 14, 20. 20 should be good against 2 meter light alloy armor, which is what I'm actually engaging and fighting against for the most part right now. So, you know what? I'm going to install some D-stabs and drop it to 20. Okay, where are those? D-stabs. D-stabs, right. That way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That should have dropped it to 20 armor piercing. Yeah, there we go. 20 AP, 5,200 damage. So, not really seen a damage increase overall. Unless the D-stabs absolutely... Oh, no. Darn it, that's right. I forgot. D-stabs actually have to be on the same cavity chains as the pumps and storages. Since each individual line of pumps and things actually drains separately, that's why I've got them spaced like this and why I've got 4 separate laser cavities on them, and each one is equal in pump quantity. Well, pretty close. I did notice a drop off in laser recharge towards the end of that, so that means they are not actually equal in all. I wish there was a total which tells you exactly how many pumps are installed. Yeah, these top 2 ones are a bit worse. But to work, D-stabs actually have to be in line with the energy, with at least some energy storage to increase the effect. Ideally split as well, because that will even out the recharge. But oh, there's a couple of spare pumps there as well. Seriously, this is now just confusing me. This is confusing the hell out of me. What am I even doing? Most incoherent intermission video ever, without a doubt. And this is only the 3rd video of this type I've ever done, so that is kind of worrying, I think, maybe. But what I'm doing now is I'm taking off 2 storages, and that means 4 pumps from each of my pumping lines. And then I'm going to install D-stabs onto this. So, cavities, destabilizers. Oh yeah, the difference is because I shifted this section back one, that's why they became uneven. If I mount a 3rd D-stab on these lines though, that will still be uneven, so... This is messing up my finely tuned engineering. How dare you? Why do you want me to do this? Ah! It was okay before. Oh yeah, look, with the D-stabs on, it's actually dropped the damage. Ah. Okay, let's... How long does it take? Okay. 5,000 when it was 5,200 max. And that's because of the loss of storage, reducing the effects on it, but okay. If I keep firing, yes, that doesn't require as much power, though remember, I also require about 2,500 to 3,000 power for the energy shielding as well. Sustained, it is dropping. Sustained is about 1,600. No, 1,500. It's dropping. Yeah, 1,400 and sorry. Yeah, 1,400 and something sustained. It looks like now. So those D-stabs have dropped sustained power by something like 40%. But how long does it take to recharge? That's now the question. That was over 26 seconds to recharge to full power. So, yes, there was an increase in power efficiency, but the sheer drop, the loss of the a little bit of storage has hurt it a little bit. Loss of the pumps has really hurt it though. So 26 seconds to get up to 5,000. It's not worth it at all. Installing the D-stabs has just made this thing worse, flat out. So I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, and I'm going to spawn in a... Oops. Okay, yeah, that was just flat out worse. At least for this arrangement. Heck, it'd be better if I don't install the D-stabs. And since this is a compact laser system, the same theory is still holding true, which I worked out back in my compact laser video, which was 2 videos ago now. More pumps, yes, needs more power, but has a greater effect when you're working on a laser which is limited to a set size. So I'm going to have to put up with the 7.1 materials per second fuel demand while this thing is actually in a combat. Out of combat, the RTGs should be in effect and do that, but I worked out before 15 seconds to hit full charge for this one. Let's go ahead and install that in the turret as a 4 shots per minute limit. Wait, where's... Should that be on the weapon controller? Yeah, here we go. Maximum 5.8 per second. That'd be 0.1. No, hang on. Per second? No, not even 1 per second. What's 1 divided by 50? Oh, excuse me. Google, tell me, what is 1 divided by 15? It's handy having this laptop open next to me, isn't it? Okay. According to Google, that is 0.06 browns per second. That is still a massive drop, I think. Wow. 0.06. that just... This does feel a lot more like a cannon, but that's something I would expect out of a heavy, slow-firing advanced cannon, not... That's not working properly. What's going on? Arrgh. Because I installed that weapon controller to do that. Yeah, 0.06 per second. Do I need to do that to the turret? No, is it the laser combiner? No? How do I do that? How do I do that? Because that was firing at full speed. And then it's not firing delay, I know that, so... yeah, maximum firing rates. Or is it just because it's on manual? Is that what's doing it? Enemy spawn, give me a... This is just mixing me up quite a lot. White flares, since I'm going against those, give me a... priest. Turn the AI off on the priest so it's not really trying to do much. Yeah, okay, right. It's because it was on manual, but still. There goes the ASB shells. You know how bad this is? Every 15 seconds on the Scorpion's laser like this, even the ASB's cannons cycle faster than that. Seriously. Look, there goes the ASB cannon again. The Scorpion fires slower than the ASB. So I don't really understand why you guys want me to do this. Simply to double roughly the damage it does per shot. It's a drastic decrease in the overall power of it. And capping it like this, it won't affect the it won't affect how much power it's using, or it shouldn't do, because Oh, wait. I see. I'm approaching this entirely the wrong way. Right, okay, right. I was timing it to come back up from sustained fire, so that is a lot of power. But if I limit it to 1 per second, what's it doing then? Yeah, suddenly it's draining a lot. 0.5? What's the point? Okay, experiment time. Yep, experiment time. Stop firing. Fire at 0.5 if you please. It can't sustain that. Yeah, that was my mistake. I was depleting it to sustain fire and then timing that. So, sorry. I think I misunderstood things rather badly. But still, what I said is nothing like as bad as I thought it was, because it's only taking a single pulse worth of power. But dropping the recharge will still reduce its effective DPS. It's still not quite hitting full charge, because it's still draining power to recharge it, so 0.3 every 3 seconds, roughly. Now what I said about destabilizer though is still the same. I'll have to drop fire rates in return for this, but this is just confusing me more and more and more. And this is dragging out the video more and more and more as well. I spent 20 minutes, I think. Wait, have I? Yeah, I've spent 20 minutes just tinkering with this, and I don't know what I'm doing with it. And wow. Well, if you guys wanted to confuse me, congratulations, you've definitely done that. Because this thing is still not hitting full charge because of the limits on its how uneven things are. Now I want to be on that. Let's increase it to 0.4 since the charging is still uneven on the internal laser. That's why the power is jumping around so much. Yeah. Well, that's 0.4. It still requires the extra power. I'm not happy with this, but I don't know. I really don't know. You know what? I'm gonna grab yellow here. Paint the sides. This is a prototype design, so it's going to get some good old yellow and black striping on the turret so I can tell it apart, like that. And I'm going to leave it like this, in this state, because it is... I don't know what I'm doing with this, quite frankly. And I've spent a lot more time than I thought I would spend on it as well, which is even worse. So, I'm going to save this thing as the Scorpion 3... B for Blast, I suppose? The Scorpion 3 Blast variant. And I'm going to ask for some more feedback for you guys on this thing, because I honestly do not know what the hell I'm doing with it, and exactly what you guys expect from it either. So, that was more damage per shot, yes. It was greatly reduced DPS, yes. It was... I've not put the D-stabs on, I've not dropped the power consumption like you guys were saying I would. It's just not... I don't know. I just don't know. Still, that's saved, so I can come back to that and continue tweaking it a little bit later on. Let's scrap the holding section that was on it as well. Okay. Now, on to something I actually know what I'm doing with, because that will speed things up considerably. The new vehicle. The ASB, pretty good, but flawed. Extremely flawed. So, let us start with getting a weapon system installed. Oh, I've still got the colour mode on. Give me back to 0, please. And remove that bright yellow colour scheme. Yeah. Okay. First things first. The core of the ASB is its cannon. So, I need to get the cannon up first. I need to decide how I'm going to do this. And the cannon needs to sit as low as possible in the hull so the hull can actually be better shaped. So 1, 2, 1, rake. Here. Okay, advanced cannon pieces. I require... How big should I make this? Actually, I know what I want to do for the actual core section of it, so let's do that first. Let's get the core section into place. Advanced cannon. Gauge cooling units. Install here. Like so. Then I need the left to right splitter. Yep. Okay. I'm going to be using the same shells on this thing as I used before, which means I'm going to require the 2-meter loaders, which I'm going to mount like this. Yep. And then I'm going to need the 2-meter clips so that they have some internal capacity left over. Is that the way around? No, it's not. Yeah, on these things you want the yellow and black stripe bit connecting to the loaders, so like that. Then I'm going to put some ammo input feeders here. Yes. That looks fine. Okay, let's just mirror that and get it all installed on the other side. Now the thing about this is that to improve the ASB, I am actually giving it something of a downgrade. Prototypes are always meant to be a test bed of sorts. That's why in fiction and in reality and things like that, you get prototypes which get all sorts of capabilities and things, like little tweaks that are present on the prototype itself, but then they get taken out of the production version because it becomes too costly. 1, 2, 3. Since it's a turret base, I want it to be uniform in thickness so I can rotate it properly. Yeah, that's looking okay. So it's quite common for a prototype to have features and little tweaks and things that then people then go, oh no, wait, that's not quite what we're trying to do with this thing, so we need to downgrade it. No, wait, that's where I wanted the armor, isn't it? Hang on, what am I doing? Oh right, I know what I'm doing wrong. I want the loaders actually to be like this, because more loaders, big cannon like this, means you can more quickly load the shells so you can get a higher total rate of fire out of it. So yeah, let's do it. Let's make it this 3-meter thick weapon core like that. Yeah, that looks good. That looks fine. Except when you put things in the wrong place, of course. Yeah, there we go. So it's quite common for prototypes to have things that they put on it and then it's like, oh no, that doesn't quite work so well with that. That doesn't work quite so well with that, so we're not going to do that. It'll be cheaper / more effective / more reliable to take it out, to remove something. Let's see, let's actually add another autoloader here. So it's got an extra autoloader, which will just store an extra shell every so often. So that's a little bit of extra there for rate of fire. So yeah, that will help a little bit. Not overly much, but hey, it's still better than nothing. Yeah, that looks okay. Okay. So why am I mentioning this? I'm mentioning this because I'm actually going to take out the railgun section of the ASB's main armament over there. So yeah, I'm afraid the ASB is going to lose its railgun attachment, which was increasing the accuracy of its shells. So yeah, I'm sorry, it's going to be a slightly lower tech version, isn't it? But it is actually going to get something in return. Actually, 2 things in return. First thing it's going to get is a more compact, better sloped, better armoured turret, because without the railgun charging system, the turret, well, the internal mechanisms of the turret has essentially been cut in half. So it doesn't need to be as big. And that's one of the reasons why that's got such a bulky turret, to house the actual railgun mechanisms. This thing is actually, even now, this thing's got a larger amount of its section dedicated to being an advanced cannon than the prototype had. And it's still less than half the size. So, yeah, you know, it's improving. Let's get this cycled down here. Yep. Oh, there was a recent discussion about turret necks and things like that in some of the comments. This is a 3-meter neck. This is what I normally do when it's going to have more than one cannon system filtering into the turret. So that's why it's got 4 like that. I'm going to add armouring like this to give the neck some durability, and then the hull is going to be armoured around it like that. I know I've mentioned this before on some of my other stuff, but I'm just going to mention it again there. So yes, I'm sorry, earlier it's still throwing me off. I'm still kind of like trying to play catch up or something, I think. I'm not entirely sure. I just know I'm losing track quite easily right now, and it's like, ugh. Okay, next up, gauge increases. These are 500mm cannons, so they need the increase. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that should be all 500mm now. Yep, all 4 500mm. Okay, great. And it's still more compact. Next up. Okay, I've laid this down here. Hang on, I've done this wrong. What have I done wrong? Oh, I know what I've done wrong. I actually built this one higher than I wanted it to be, so I'm going to have to redo all this again. Woohoo! More time, more mistakes. Yeah, this is also follows back to another section comment. It's like, yeah, I've got 570, 580 odd hours in this game, and I still make many, many mistakes, and this is one of them. So let's go ahead and get this actually sorted out. Actually, it would have been easier to just do... yeah, doing this would have been much easier if I simply... if I had simply just gone and done a flipping prefab. That would have been much easier. You know, again, mistakes. Mistakes were made. That needs to be there. That needs to be there. I should have just prefabbed and then moved it down one. That would have done it. Don't need that one there. Pull out all of these. Okay, right, what have I got now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's got 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Pull out 2 there, move them back a little bit. There we go. Okay. Mistake corrected. I've shrunk it down even further, so it's even smaller. That's great. Now, how do I want to do this? How much size have I actually got? I want to make a round turret cap, so let's rebuild that. It's 4, 5, 6, 7. It's going to be 7 across. Yeah, if you want a uniformly protected turret, it's usually a good idea to build a round cap on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So that's the space I've got to build this turret into. Because having a blocky, like, rectangular turret cap, that is... that's all well and good. Oops. Needs to be a 3, yep. Having a blocky and rounded turret cap is all well and... Sorry, blocky and rounded? A blocky turret cap is all well and good. But it does have some problems with it as well. Like, when it turns, it's exposing the armour underneath it, which is my main concern with it. If you're exposing that armour, then it's a spot where the armour that's in the turret will no longer be available to try and protect what's underneath it. So if you do something like that, then you are making a lighter turret. Yes, that is true. So that a lighter turret will turn faster and it is cheaper. So yes, that is also true. It's cheaper. But you're paying for that with a little bit less protection and durability from your tank's actual main armour. Because something that the armour of the turret could block is now not going to be blocked. And so the armour on top of your turret's actual internal mechanism has to take the hit instead. I've got space here, so I'm going to install some more cooling parts. So yeah, it's a trade-off really. Do you want the thing to be better? As in, do you want it to be a bit heavier? Do you want it to be able to protect itself more? Or do you want it to be a little bit cheaper, a little bit smaller? Stuff like that. So yeah, trade-off time. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, okay, that's it. Still even between the barrels. But I've just added a bunch of extra cooling to each one, so that'll improve the rate of fire further. And that's where these clips are coming more importantly. So if this thing can still hit hard and it's doing as much damage as it was before, but it's firing faster, then it doesn't matter quite as much about the accuracy loss. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's right. Okay. It doesn't quite matter as much about the accuracy loss, but since the enemy I'm facing like to charge straight in, then one could argue that the accuracy loss is not actually that important anyway. So, you know, general improvement achieved kind of situation. I've got some more empty space here, but side armoring is also an important factor. So let's actually build a let's build a 3. Yeah, let's build a 3 in here. So there we go, and like that, and then I can round out this side using the triangles, like that. Downslope there. Yeah, as you can see, we're getting a nice roundish turret shape here. Though the front will have to be slightly different because that's where the actual gun mantles are. So. Oh yeah, by the way, make sure that this thing is attached before you start removing things, because the number of times I've started building a turret and then just suddenly lost it to something like that is kind of ridiculous. I've lost many big turrets because I just thought, ooh, I want to quickly replace this with this, and whoops, my finger slips, I hit the wrong thing and the entire thing just goes poof into the thin air, so you know, not so great. I still need the barrels, I need the bore evacuators now, yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I know that the optimum for these things in terms of propellant and things is going to be about 10 meters, so there we go. Another advantage of removing the railguns is that I can pack these things closer together because I don't have to worry about attaching the railgun charges to the actual firing pieces themselves to have the actual rails onto the turret. And also it lets me more easily use the 3-meter vertical mantles here, which you guys also said I should fit to this thing. So yeah, that is looking a lot more like a regular tank turret, more compact, more angled, more everything. Let's install the inputs here as well. A couple of backup inputs just underneath these to, you know, help maintain a little bit more firepower out of it. Though admittedly that also does reduce the protection slightly as well, because I could replace that with a metal armor block, and that would just make it a little bit better armored. But I digress. It's all about trade-offs anyway, so yeah. Let's install install that there. Yep, that's looking okay. And of course it needs the same stuff here, so remove that so I can actually install a shield emitter in the front. There we go. And the front of the turret is actually starting to take shape now. Let's get the slopes like that. So yeah, you can see what I'm doing. Still keeping to a flat overall design on top because I still need to have a surface to mount the missile turret on top of it so that it looks okay. But I definitely have a much more compact looking turret already. And it's going together quite nicely. It just needs to be rounded out and filled in more than anything else. Though, actually, something I forgot, and I usually forget this because I leave it to the end, is it also needs the recoil absorbers to reduce the kick of the cannons, because 500mm cannons kick hard. Should I install another one here? Yeah, rate of fire. Okay. Right. Something I do when there's a one block gap like this in the turrets, even if I'm not going to fill it with armouring or something, then instead I do this and flip around the parts so they attach evenly to the different parts of what I'm working on. Because I want to try and keep the things balanced among themselves. That's not connected, so okay, that bit there is going to be blank. And the middle bit is going to be a pair of ammo inputs there, separated between the two systems. So yeah, you can see what I've done. And then if I install that there, that's that. And it, as I mentioned before, it's built to the same thickness as these, so it should be quite even in trying to space itself among the different systems. Actually, wait, is that a... It is. Ooh. Okay, I can install some 4-meter absorbers in here. I've got the space for it. Excellent. And since the turret's here, I don't want to have anything from the actual main vehicle intruding, so yeah, there we go. And then I'll just do the same to the other side, since like that. Since it's a small system, I'm actually doing it this way rather than mirroring it, which is what... sorry, not mirroring. Taking prefabs of it, like I did with the ventral artillery on the cookie wagon. It's a much smaller system, so it's much faster just to not mess around with doing that. And then, since this is the big section in here, this is where I'm going to start installing more bits and pieces. So yeah, like that. Okay. Again, spacing the recoil out, so that's added a whole bunch of extra recoil absorption. It's already far more absorbent than the previous cannon was. So let's keep going with this thing. Is there anything else I want to add to it? Is there? Actually, yes, there are. AI. Detector systems. Detector equipment, here we go. Coincidence range finders. There is actually something I want to very quickly mention about these, because I've seen a couple of designs from people, since you know I do get designs and things sometimes, yada yada, which have had these on, and I want to quickly mention something about these. The design in question tried to armour them by having like an entire section of it armoured. Let's cancel out mirror mode. Like this, so like that, you see, we're having like this bit's exposed, thinking it would be okay. It is. It's actually not, because this thing, as you can see, look, line of sight is disabled. Remove that, and remove that. So what these things actually need, as far as I understand it, is it needs the two ends where the actual cameras are to actually, you know, be functional. So you can armour this thing up if you like, but it needs to have those two end bits exposed. So that's why I'm going to install one here, and it's a long one. The longest one gives better stats, but also it just clears this armoured cap. So it is actually a perfect size to be installed like that. to give better accuracy for my detection system here. And of course, since this is a detection system, that means I need to have a connection for my AI system. So, yay! Here we go. Actually, should I install some gimbal cameras out here as well? Choices, choices, choices. Yeah, let's actually install some gimbals on here as well. There we go. Okay, that's looking fine. And then like that, and then I'll add the wireless receiver, invert it like that. Oh, that's actually on the detector. No, I need it there. Right. So that is going to be like that, and I can actually. That has weakened. Well, that's prevented weak spots in the top of this turret's armor. So yes, that is something to be aware of. But it has. It's given me better detection options for this craft as well. So this thing will be able to better track its systems and detect its opponents and things like that. Give me the gimbal IR cameras. So yes, that will help this thing to just lock onto things and better shoot at them. Didn't mean to hit that. What did I just delete? Oh, it was a 4 meter. Right. Okay. Yes, there we go. That's looking pretty good. And then I just start filling in using the biggest blocks that I can cram into the available space. Since bigger blocks are tougher, they have much more hit points, so they're much harder to knock out. So it's just a better choice in defense. And then I'll have a downslope 4 like that, get some sloping in. So there we go. And then, since I'm making it something like this, I'm just going to mirror it all to the back as well. Again, using biggest beams I can to get the most durability out of it as I can possibly get. Then I'll actually need a square corner here, so I don't leave something exposed. No, wait, that's not going to work. I actually need a metal block here. Yeah, and then just flat out downslope and a flat corner like that. That's not right. What am I doing? Yeah, seriously, what am I doing? Okay. This is why I don't normally show me sculpting things, because I take so long at it. It's like, oh, is this bit here? Is this bit perfect? If yes, continue. If no, error, redo from start. So yeah, this is why I normally cut this stuff out when I'm doing this, but since I'm still working on the turrets, it's still going in this time, I'm afraid. So yes, sorry about that. That's not what I want either. It's this. This is what I want. Yes, this is what I want. Then I want a downslope 4, downslope 1, then round it out like that, and then metal beams 2. So there we go. Okay, right. That is a rather smooth turret top, I think. It's got a decent-ish advanced cannon underneath it. It's got high recoil absorption. It's got fairly good armour. It's got onboard detection. It's a little bit exposed on the top, but the idea is for another turret to actually go on top of it anyway, so that will help cover for that particular vulnerability. And it looks a lot more like a tank cannon turret than what the ASB's got, so again, major improvement. Let's have a look further in. Where is the centre of mass is actually pretty forward on this, so I need to expand the rear section actually with some heavy armour, because heavy armour is heavy. Surprise, surprise. I could install some more recoiling here, but right now it's more important for me to actually get the weight balanced out. Plus there's the internal volume thing, which I've got to keep aware of. Whereas the centre of mass is better. Okay. Let's install another beam here, actually. What's that done to it? Again, that's flipping it backwards further. And apart from a downslope, actually I'm going to say that's fine. So yeah, it's got heavy armoured weight on the back to help counterbalance the quartet of barrels on the front. And I pulled the centre of mass back to almost centre, so this thing is now pretty darn stable. Actually, I didn't need to do that because this is on a tank, but I always do that, so yeah. That's the exposed section of that turret, fine. Okay, let's get started here. Now then, I want this thing to be mounted on heavy armour, so let's get a beam out here so I don't actually delete it. There we go, and strip out the wood. Don't need that just there, so there we go. That is actually a very small cannon compared to the other one when you look at it like that. How long have I been doing this? Whoa, nearly an hour. Right, okay. This is going to take ages to render. Not intended. Darn it. Go back into the turret and very quickly modify. Since I want this thing to have some extra durability. So I might as well heavy armour where I can on key blocks. Give it a bit of an armoured core. Armoured core, great game by the way. But there we go. I'm actually okay with that turret and I'm going to say that's done. Looks pretty nice. Next up is the turret that's going to be mounted on top of this turret. On top, of course, being one of the key features of the other tank, which means I need to have an extra set underneath it like this. And wait, this isn't going to work right, is it? I've botched this up, haven't I? What have I done? Oh! No, never mind. That's going to work just fine, actually. I didn't need to correct that. Okay, that's going to be fine. Because for a moment there I thought, weapon controller, where am I going to put the weapon controller? Because I normally mount it on the vehicle hull rather than in the actual turret. But since I'm using wireless and stuff like that, I can just simply install the weapon controller here, above the turret's cap. Then I just need to add the various parts, like the wireless receiver, which can go into the side there, and the failsafe, which is still important. There it is. So I can just install that there as well. And then on top of that, I'll just install 3 meter beams instead of 4, since it's buried so deep inside the actual stack of the turret mechanism. So there we go. Very quick, easy fix. Now then, new sub-object, new turret. You are going to be there. So yep, that's the secondary turret installation. And then it's going to be light blocks to get it straight through the other turrets without any clipping issues. So there, yep. And now I'm going to install, again, a missile turret on here. The question is how big? Because that's actually a pretty decent missile turret on that one. Let's put it this way. That's a bit long, actually. I want short, fast missiles, so 4 downslope 2 on the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 meter long. Launch pad here, that's where the ejectors are going to go for kicking it out of the actual tank itself to make it more stable on firing. Yes. And then it's going to be the rest of the missile systems are going to go back here. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, missile system. Let's get this thing into place. That, yep. Get the ejector add-ons underneath it. Like so. Yes, get the missile connection blocks here. Yep. Install the missile controller in a very cheeky fashion, which is going to be like that. Check. By the way, quick little trick with the missile controller actually is you see you can't place it here because it requires a block underneath it. If you rotate it, then you can place it like that, but it won't connect. But then you can tab to rotate it back and then shift click just to replace it, and that'll mount it in the correct position. So it's a nice little thingy there. And since I put it here, it's connected straight onto these missile pads here, and it connects to the others by these connection blocks, so that is actually still all connected. Then of course IFF system and a staggered fire emission system, so this thing will chain launch its missiles, and that's a nice little compact missile set. That's the gantry. Yep, that's how long I want them to be. Not a bad length. Whoops, that's a bit too long. Oop. And I turned off mirror mode for some reason. There we go. Yeah, that looks fine. Now then, let's follow what I did before. Actually, let's put a laser beam rider into this. Install some frag warheads at the back, and of course drop the blast radius to 18-degree cones. That will work okay. Fins on the back, thanks to you guys telling me that about that one and their resistance thing, because I want this to be fast tracking, so 4 fins. A short range thruster, because I'm not really going to mess around with that. I want these things to kick off and go. And plus a slower launching missile that actually doesn't launch as well from a moving platform, so there is that. And then add in some fuel tanks. It doesn't need a 1-turn. Is there anything else it needs? Because that's a lot of fuel for a short-range missile. That is a lot of stuff. Actually, let's take out one of the frag warheads. Sorry, one of the fuel tanks for an extra frag warhead. Give it a bit more kick. Because that is still going to be actually a fairly decent range on it. So it'll keep on coming. Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. A full rack of those. That's going to be nasty for whoever gets in the way of them. And then, of course, missile connector blocks. Like that. Not connected. Okay, so that needs to be like that. And then put it down like that. Okay. And lasers. Laser emitters. So there we go. Treble laser again, just to make sure. And it's still short. This thing is still shorter than the other turrets, so still an improvement. Do I want to add some detector systems on top here, like I did with the previous design? Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Okay, AI connectors. I want to add some 360 cameras, which is what I use for initial detection purposes. These things pick up heat sources and things quite easily. So that's why I'm doing that. But I don't rely on them for actual targeting data. Because they're just not accurate enough, really. So those for initial detection. And then, after that, it is the gimbal cameras that I mount that actually go out and make sure that I'm pointing at the right thing. Where do I want to put those? Or should I just let this handle initial detection? Would that be good? Is that okay? Sure, let's just leave this thing to handle initial detection then, so with a couple of those things on the top. And I could add in I can move the transmitter back here, so it's a bit better protected, and actually install a radar dome on the front. Yeah, sure, yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's install a radar dome down here. So a 360 radar system, like that. There we go. The missile turret handles long-range initial detection of hostile targets. And that sounds pretty good. Now it's a case of course, getting the armour on this thing finished. So, 2 meter down slopes. Would help if I actually oriented them properly, wouldn't it? Yep. Corner it. That. Slight error on my part here because since I've got these emitters sticking out so much, I need to be aware of them. No, wait, actually, I can compact this slightly. Yeah, I can compact this. If I simply drop this like that, put it there, then that is a more narrow turret profile and reduces the volume slightly, but still has the actual things. Though, of course, it means that these connector blocks are exposed at the back here, so it's another one of those trade-off situations, unfortunately. I'm losing a bit of armouring on the turret in return for a slightly more compact design. So that really can't be helped. Actually, I can compact this further, can't I? Yeah, let's do it like this. There we go. Actually, no. That doesn't look quite right, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go back to what it was, which is this. Because then I can just install on the back like that, and there we go. Yeah, this is exactly the reason why I don't tend to have this when I'm building installed, because I just start messing around with things so very much. And then it's like, oh, I'm not going to build this thing, I'm going to sculpt this thing, and I take absolutely flipping ages about it. So that's that, and give me that. I mean, this was, by the time you actually get this was supposed to go out yesterday. And it's not because entirely of me taking so long about it, so there we go. Yeah, that's a sleeker, more compact design of the turret for that. Yeah, that looks okay. So yeah, there we go. Missile turret successfully installed, and it's still a lot sleeker design than the previous one. Okay, next up, back onto the base of the craft. Next up is the actual basis of the design, you know, the actual chassis, since I've not managed to do that. Chassis. Strange word, chassis. I'm never quite sure how to pronounce it, but I always say it as chassis rather than chassis, which I know some people say, and some people say chassis. And chassis, chassis. There's so many different ways to say it. Is that long enough? How long is that? That is 32 meters long. How big's the ASB actually? Why am I'm still all the way up here, aren't I? So, yeah, that's 32 meters length. That's how big is the ASB? The ASB is 34 meters long. So actually, yeah, that is plenty of length for the hull of this thing. Press press N. I'm not really scrimping on building materials here. So that's why I'm including heavy armour as a core element in how I'm building it. Yeah, that's wide enough for the track pads. And of course, let's go ahead and install some here as well. Where's the middle, roughly? Actually, I should install it under the turret because that's where the bulk of the vehicle is. So like that. Should I? Is that long enough? Yeah, that's looking okay. So the volume saving I have managed on the turret is now going into the actual body of the tank itself. So like that. Yep. Okay. And of course that means I need to install downwards as well. This thing is going to be faster than the ASB as well, by the way. Since I'm making the thicker pads, so that means it's going to have more wheels, so that's going to means it's going to have more power. So this thing is going to flat out be faster. Yeah, that's turning wheels. Okay, let's get things oriented. No, on the other side. Since the way I do it seems to be, I do like doing it this way, which is having the things spaced internally, facing like that. So it looks more like a unified track rather than an actual mixture. And then of course on the front pad I'm replacing a couple of turning wheels with some power wheels. So if it's only the front pad that's got contact with the ground, it's still going to be able to pull the actual tank itself. Now how will this look in 3? Because I've never built one of these 3 thick before, so I'm wondering what it'll look like. It doesn't look... Well, there's a slight gap there. I guess I can't really help that too much, unfortunately, but still, looks okay. There we go, okay. Thicker track pads. Biggest track pad is slightly towards the back, underneath where the turret is, so that'll look okay in terms of weight distribution. And it's faster because it's got more of it, so yeah, that's looking okay so far. Let's get metal capping onto it all. I need the side wedges, down slopes, and I'll work out the internal connection in a little bit, since I'll probably want to slope that again. I might wind up taking off the metal armor. Sorry, metal armor? The heavy armor, which is going to be, which is connecting right now since that's the bridges, because that's flat, and I might want to slope this thing up again, like I did on the Scarabs. I didn't on the ASB prototype. That looks like the right block, wouldn't it? So that's going to be an aesthetic choice kind of situation. Do I want the heavy armor where it is, or do I want to slope to reach the main body of the tank? Questions. All these infernal questions. Yeah, it's always already looking a bit more meaty because it's got that. But yeah. Sure. I don't want this thing to just be connected by straight bars, because that just doesn't suit how I seem to build these things. So straight bar construction is a no-go. And then of course, as I seem to have been doing since second generation tanks onwards, let's get some repair bots out on the front. Fun fact about repair bots, actually. From what I understand, they actually need a space to fly around in, otherwise they just sit above the repair pad when they spawn. So that might be a thing. I'm not entirely sure. I've not tested it. It's just a theory. So don't take that as any kind of truth or gospel. But I'm not sure that repair bots actually work properly if they are not able to, you know, fly around and reach the block they're trying to replace. At least they don't look like they work. They don't visually work. But maybe that's just a bug in the programming or something. I don't know. I really don't know. I also wonder how you guys actually liking these intermission videos will hold up to this, because this is going to be me babbling and building continuously for how long have I been on this now? An hour and 15 so far. So yeah, this is going to be me continuously going rah rah rah, I'm doing this, 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 and this, and this, and this, and it's, yeah. I honestly don't know if you guys are going to be happy with it this much without editing. I mean, I'm a little surprised that you guys like it anyway, because I was cutting this out of earlier series that I did. I don't know if any of you have actually gone back and watched my first 2 From the Depths series in this game, but I did actually cut stuff out like this, rather than using it as a separate video, things like that. Now, the question is that too close? I think that's too close to get for it to turn, because it's not got the space. But let's try and turn anyway. Let's try and take turret control. Look, help I wasn't falling off. So yeah, I wasn't planning to do any kind of editing on this series, but is this? Oh, it's turning. Okay, it seems that there is just enough space. The missile turret, of course, is turning a lot faster, but the heavy cannon is also turning at a decent rate as well, so can it turn all the way round? That's the ultimate test. Because if you build it too tight around a turret, it'll catch on something, but it looks like I have built it really tight, but not too tight. Yeah, that is working okay. Actually, that's something that I think this game needs, now that I think about it. Engine power to turrets. I mean, you can put engine power to rotors and heliblade rotors and things, spinners and things like that. Why can't you divert some engine power to a turret? So if you want to, you can ramp up its turning rates. It's like, well, I don't want it to be anything like as cheap as that. Like you're trying to turn this massive thing, but if you could divert engine power to a turret, I would be willing to spend like hundreds or even 1,000 engine power or so on a heavy turret if I could get it to turn a lot faster. Yeah, there we go. There's the catching I was talking about. Installing that side block there has now caught it on the turret, so it can't actually turn. That is a little bit too far. So, if I install that there instead and then pull those 2 blocks out, so that is giving a gap there. Will it still turn? Will it no longer turn? It still turns. Okay, that is the minimum distance. So that is now functional. And it looks pretty nice as well. Okay. Yep, I'm going to mirror that and get it onto the rest of the stuff. Why is that dropping? Have I messed up some? Oh, I didn't build it even. Okay. So yeah, if the guy making this sees this, I do think an option to route a set amount of engine power to increase the turn speed of turrets is probably going to be a nice thing. That might unbalance things a little bit, I don't know, because you could get a really heavy turret turning really fast if you put enough power behind it, but it's definitely something. I've got 2/3 of my volume used now on this thing, and I've still got internal systems and ammo to install as well, so this is going to be a pretty hollow tank, I think. Yeah. I need to start looking at this because my volume limit is actually starting to become a concern. Let's get this thing actually capped off. I could skimp on some of this armour to reduce the volume it's taking, but if there's one thing you don't want to skimp on, it's armour. At least not armour where you're expecting it to be, you know, protecting your tank. Because the idea of this entire section of armour is that it's going to help protect the turret cap under here. So it does need to actually be a reliable thickness. You can only skip so much on the armour before you start really compromising on protection. So, there, yes. And I'm going to install a block. No, I said a block. There we go. Still, I'm in better shape than I was on the previous tank, so there we go. Yeah, that's looking okay. I still need to build the rest of the tank though. That's the main concern and the main worry, because this thing is going to be bulky. There's a lot of bulk still to go into this tank, and have I built it too big now? I can strip out that metal armor here. Yeah, this is definitely a bulky tank. I'm very concerned. This is also part of the reason, one of the comments that was driven at the original one was, the legs are too thin, why have you built them so thin? And that was part of the answer why, because I was running out of volume to actually install everything I was trying to install. So it was like, it became a balance thing, like, can I install as much of the outer surface as I want to without compromising the rest of it? And the answer was no, I could not. So I think I'm running into the same situation here. It's too much volume being spent on things, I think. So yeah, right. Should I go for a 3 meter angle instead? What would that look like? Yeah, this is not as sloped as I would normally do it, but I'm really running out of options, so I think a 3 meter slope. I'm going to have to move something. Oh, I know. Let's sever the back tracks. Yep, there they go. Back tracks are gone. And then let us install these 2 tracks here. I need to go to here. Yep. Go to prefabs. Yeah, I'm actually using the prefab here. Drop it to the right size. Capture that entire track. And then I'm going to install it back here. Like that. So you see what I'm doing? I'm compacting the design a little bit. I'm just compromising a little bit on the stability of it in return for reducing its volume and overall bulk. Goodbye trackpad. Place that prefab. Get it lined up properly. Thank you. Oh darn it! I severed the other one. Yeah. Mirror mode. Mirror mode did me in slightly, but yes, there. So if I put it there, let's extend it out a little bit. How will that look? Like that. Oh! I actually caught part of the track in front of it as well. Like that. Yeah, that looks okay. Okay, let's recapture that thing. Wipe it, reduce the length considerably. So like that. Flip it around because the thing is actually even in design. And get it mounted in the same spot on the other side. That is actually 2 blocks out. 1, 2. So that would put it there. So that's those 2 tracks sorted out. Okay. Now I did pick up some extra bits and pieces on this one because of my other capture. So I need to sever that stuff and get rid of it. What am I even doing? So yeah, there we go. That's that. And I don't know, should I leave that a little bit wider? Should I narrow that down a little bit? Yeah, let's hunker that one down slightly as well. So, prefabs. This one is not even. So, oops. Oh wait, that stuff not meant to be there either. Capture that prefab. Wipe that prefab. Yeah, there we go. Take that. Then get rid of that. So, bye-bye. Now, where do I want it? About there? No, that'll do, yeah. Like this. Place the prefab. So that bit there is connecting. Yeah. Yeah, that looks okay. And then I need to actually get this thing properly mirrored again. So. Yeah, wouldn't it be easier if I just prefabbed it again? The problem is that this is an uneven design, so it's actually a little bit faster to do it this way. At least on something this size. Yep, need to put in the bots. And the problem is that we got the steering wheels underneath it as well. There we go, okay. So that is looking very different actually. Because I've dropped down the number of tracks, this is actually looking quite different from how it was before. That's very, very strange actually. Yeah, that's okay, that's the front slope of the tank now, as it stands. I've saved a little bit of volume, and I've definitely built a more compact vehicle by dropping out those parts. Again, just expanding it to a 4-meter beam because I've got the length there to do it. But that flat slope on the front looks slightly boring. It's not quite right. I mean, yeah, I mean, it looks impressively bulky, but it's not got features in it. So, what should I do about this? What should I do about this? Well, the front armour is going to be thickened, so that's not much of an impression. Oh, I know. Let's move it back slightly even further. Move that. And then do that, and then put in the 3-meter slopes here again. And suddenly we've got a slight recess there. That's looking okay. Okay. But it's a very fine indentation. Actually, let's drop this one to a 3-meter slope as well, to maintain the groove all the way down the front of it. Yeah, that's looking better. Now let's put in some corner pieces because we need some. 2 meter? No, 2 meter. 2 meter. And then it's going to meet up again at the very end like that. So that's a couple of ridge lines going down the front. That's that looks okay. Oh, this is what I mean again by sculpting. It's like I prefer to work shapes into it all. So that's a 3-meter one there, so that's going to be like that. So I'm getting this nice rounded front effect going on. Then of course, like that. And a downward, since it's only 3 meters, it's going to be individual downward blocks like that. That's 3 meters across, so I can use a flat 3-meter beam. Not quite in that position. Whoops. Like that. So yeah, I think I've sculpted a nice little slope there. Definitely better than that flat piece it was before, but still. Yeah, that gives a bit of shape to the front of the tank, I think, anyway. But that's the kind of thing I tend to do. And of course, it's also giving it this stubby little nose as well, so yeah, that's a little bit of a nose on the front of it now, but I think that looks okay. Yeah, that looks good. I approve. Iron Mark 3 approves. Yeah, that looks all right. That a bit of detailing, a bit of personality. Actually, what depth are these? These are 3s. I could install a 2 down here actually and make this ridgeline a little bit thicker. Yeah. Yeah, so it's more closer to being a curve than it was before as well. And then if I do it like that, how's that looking? Yeah. Okay, right. Yeah, so a ridge patterned front like that. It's just by playing with the angles of the slopes, and I've done something to it. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, moving on. That's given me a bit of internal space to play around with, and I'm going to install armouring under there as well, of course. I need to extend this underneath the tank, which is going to be here. Bloody hell, how long is it going to take me to render this thing? An hour-long, roughly, video takes my computer something like 8-9 hours-ish. I reworked this in the comments because someone asked about it. So yeah, 8 or 9 hours for an hour-long video on the settings that I use. And right now I am building... how long is this? I've passed an hour and a half. This is going to take at least about 12 hours, I think, to render. No way this is going out the day I'm recording it. Absolutely no way. Still though, I am actually quite happy with how this new tank's turning out. It's looking pretty darn nice so far, I think. Or maybe I'm biased. I'm probably biased. Yeah, I'm probably biased. Let's actually go ahead and angle the this section again, like I did before. So that's the down slopes. This will cut down on the volume slightly while giving the tank a more sleek kind of appearance. So that's always good. Let's install temporary block underneath here as a safety measure to make sure the entire track doesn't give way, because I'm about to delete its supports. Bugger. Yep, that's... Behold! I made another mistake. I was wary. I supported this end, but I didn't support the other end, so the track fell off anyway. Yeah. Whoops. I told you I still make mistakes. Speaking of mistakes, I didn't properly mirror the front tracks either. So... darn it. And actually, that little bit of laughter there has actually made me feel a little lightheaded as well, so that is a good sign. Okay. Block beam. Yep, let's get that out there. Let's get the diagonal slopes down. I must admit, I think a multiplayer building session would actually be more entertaining to you guys, because this is just me going la-di-da all the time. Wait, why am I still in heavy armor mode? I can tell my focus is slipping. This isn't even where I wanted it. My attention is definitely starting to slip. Goodbye, spare track. I knew you not at all. Right, I wanted that there, and then I wanted the beams. Oh, this is such a mess. Such a mess. Still, hopefully you guys are happy with it, because you wanted to see my thought process and things when I do it. This is what passes for my thought process as I do things on this game. At least these days, it's like, right. Come on. Come on, you can do this. You can get this done. And you've got to get this done. Why am I moaning so much? Why am I complaining so much? What the heck? I can tell I'm tiring, but yeah, I'm definitely tiring. That I get looser and more expressive as I get tired, to be quite honest with you. So actually, the worse I get, the more talkative I get, but the more drained I am afterwards. So it's kind of like a catch-22 vicious cycle kind of situation. So it's not ideal at all. Let's install a heavy armor core here to just help sustain the... Well, no, actually I can attach that straight onto there, can't I? Yeah. So it's a catch-22 situation going on, which is not great at all. But it's one of the things I've got to deal with. So, down slope here, actually. Let's recess that slightly. Install a metal block there. And then install a 3-meter slope there, next to the 4-meter corners to create a similar indentation to the front of the vehicle. So yeah, that's another thing. Design styling. If you're going to use it, be consistent and try to apply it elsewhere as well. So yeah, that's quite a nice looking mount for the trackpad, I think. And of course the outer armour of the vehicle is going to be on here. Actually, that's not proper at all, is it? It's going to be here, like that. Then I'm going to have this here. No, it's 2 meter, not 4. So like that. So that'll be part of the armour bulge for what's going on with the turret. Like that. And then, of course, round it out like that. So yeah. That's looking okay, that. The front of the tank I wanted to be more angular to help deflect incoming shots. So again, I'm going to drop things down like this as I sculpt it. Yeah, if you're trying to deflect slots, defects, words, come on words, why do you forsake me now? You've been doing so well. To defect, and again, to deflect, there we go, deflect. To deflect incoming shots, of course, angling helps. So shallow angle towards the front, and then it steepens out, and then it's the actual bulge of the thing itself, like that. Then I'm going to angle it like that, yeah. Tear out that piece, actually. And then that's just going to be flat beam, because that's the space installed, yep. And then a beam 4, like that, yep. So, there we go, that's a nice armoured side section on this tank. It's definitely got some bulk to it, this one. And then that piece that I took out, like that, and then drop it for the sloping to that. So there you go. That is the corner section. And get 2 meter 1 to go onto here, and like that. Okay. A nice sloped round little section. And then I can just install this straight to there, like that. Yeah, that looks fine. Get rid of that stabilizing block, which didn't work, so yep. And since I've got the actual leg attached back here, that means I want to actually extend this one in the opposite way. So here I round it out underneath this. Here I want to actually round it out towards the end, like that, to give it the space for where the actual leg is attached. So like that. See what I'm doing? And then, of course, need to do the rounding out. So, should I do a 3 meter? Yeah, let's do a 3 meter. Get a bit more volume in the back. Yeah, a bit more volume in the back to give me some more internal space for where I want to try and put things. Because this thing still needs ammo storage, it still needs an engine, it still needs a whole bunch of bits and pieces to actually be functional. But it's definitely shaping up. So like that. Metal beam 2 goes there, yep. So as you can see, it's got this. It's definitely back heavy, this design. That's how it's been sloped, but oh damn it! Bugger! I wasn't using mirror mode. Damn it all! Damn it all! I wasn't using mirror mode. I've got to rebuild this entire damn thing. Bugger. Oh, I really want to swear right now. Darn it! I can't do a prefab to copy this thing because it's not an even shape. I've got to go back with using R and block select and just rebuild the entire thing. Oh, hell. Bugger. You flippin' moron. I'm sorry. It's not that funny, but I'm hitting the ends of my endurance, and it's like I've lost self-control, and it's like, oh, I've got to laugh at that. Oh hell! Damn it all. Honestly, I can't stand keeping going recording. I think there's a bit of hysteria in there as well. Yes. Okay. The new Mantis is looking really good. It's a really compact, bulky kind of style compared to the spindly shape of the ASB. So it's definitely an improvement. It's got more internal space. It's better sloped. It's better protected. In some ways, it's better armed. It's more effectively armed, it looks like. But yeah, I think that slip up has just kind of done me in for sustaining recording at this moment. Plus I've got to get ready for a few other things fairly soon, so I wouldn't have been able to finish this thing anyway in one burst, sadly. And that just tears it. So, don't worry, this is not the end of the video, even if we are 1 3/4 hours in. God, this is going to take forever to render. Even though we are 1 3/4 hours in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end recording here. Then, when I come back later and have managed to replenish and refresh myself and continue with From the Depths recording, I am going to then correct this mistake and fix this problem and get the actual hole sorted out. And then I will resume the raw recording and combine it into this video. So, yes, this recording stops here. Next section resumes in a moment. I'm going to say I can't believe I did that, but I can well and truly believe that I did that because I've done that so many times before. And I'm back. I've also fixed that slight blunder with the entire hull of this poor Mantis. As I said just before I left, I can believe I did that. I do that pretty darn often. Anyway, the Mantis is shaking up rather nicely overall, but there is one wee little fly in this soup, as it were. And it's a problem that the ASB ran into as well, and that's the fact it's actually getting a little bit too big. If I turn this off, yeah, look what adding the rest of that bit of hull into it and stuff has done. It's now at volume 1852 out of a maximum of 2000, so less than 150 meters cubed of volume left to go into this thing. That means it's time for the Mantis to go on a diet, basically. I need to start shaving out weight, and by weight I actually mean volume, as much as I can. And that's all there is to it. Let's go down slope here. And that, of course, means replacing the more solid full metal blocks with less solid half metal blocks, and outright stripping out blocks where possible as well. So this is not going to be ideal. It's going to reduce the essential armouring of the tank by a fair bit, but in order to get enough volume to actually complete the tank, it is something that must also be done very, very reluctantly, but there we go. That's a block that can be replaced right there. Replace. That one appears. So flip it that way and replace and replace. So I'm starting to make some volume savings. I've just saved another 25 just from replacing those blocks. So it's very much a trade-off of what can you afford to lose in this before it becomes too compromised for what you're trying to do. I think that's a pretty good way to put it, actually. Yeah. Well, how much of this are you willing to compromise before it becomes too weak to be of actual use to you? That is actually a very good question. What I'm willing to compromise is not the weapon systems. The turrets are both fine. That's all how I want it. So I'm having to strip out mass and bulk from anywhere I can find it, basically. So that means things like in these track pads, making them a little bit weaker. Like I'm doing that now to the heavy armor blocks, which are part of their core, where the wheels are actually attached, just to get a bit more volume to let me finish the tank, basically. So that's what I've done there. Should I strip out the top layer as well? But that's actually a highly vulnerable point. I should leave the top layer with a bit more health, I think. But I'm down to 1775 pretty much now. So yeah, I'm continuing to save mass. Should I make the back of the vehicle smaller? I don't know. I'd rounded this bit out a little bit more before I started recording again. I do want to keep it like this. It is actually pretty nice. And it goes with the style of this side bit coming out and then sloping down like that, while the main vehicle is carried by it. But I think necessity wins this one, so I'm actually going to strip this part out. And while I still will round off the rear section of the tank, I won't do it in quite as large a manner. So this tank is going to lose its rear end, effectively. Something like that. How should I do this? Let's get the square corners involved, and then a downslope like that. So, as you can see, the entire tank just ends there, and that's giving it less volume to try and cover. Though I am going to do this with it, and then add in a 2-block beam. No, actually that's a fallacy. Downslope, save mass and volume. I keep saying mass when I mean volume. And then I can put that in there and it looks the same. So, there we go. Yep, that's looking alright. And same trick here. Flip over the thing. There it goes. Wow, look at me being such a Scrooge with this. What should I do here? How much volume do I actually have available? 1765. Because I want this thing to have a bit more shape to it. A bit more definition. So I'll tell you what. I'm going to actually install an extra thickness here. That's increasing the volume a little bit more, but... Oh, actually. Downslope 2 meter there. So yeah, that's a slight section there to continue the entire theme I've got going on of alternating layers of thickness, that sort of thing, for the rest of the tank. Yep, that looks okay. And then, of course, round out the bottom of the tank like that. Okay. Price is definitely not averted because I've still got the underside of the tank to do. And 1780, so 210 volume left to play with. Ooh, this is a thing that hits the ASB very hard when I was in the final stages of building it. I really should have foreseen that it would happen to the Mantis as well, but I didn't, so I am slightly annoyed about that. And yeah, if if you guys decide to mention it again, I did briefly consider going with a docking style building approach, but as I mentioned in the reply to that comment, I am actually still trying to I'm still trying to work within the limits of the 2K volume limit, so I'm trying to do this without doing that. Yeah, this, that, something else. That is all very specific, isn't it? There we go, yeah. Of course, I'll need to add in some... I need to add in a floor, of course. But it shall be a floor like that. How much space is this floor going to cost me? That is a very, very valid question. Actually, let's do it the other way. So we've got a flat interior here and we've got ridges underneath. Sure, that might look better. Blocks, give it a metal one now. Give me the metal. Flipping weight saving. That, and because of the fact that the metal ones don't actually break when they get hit by EMP, so that is also a good thing to have. So like that, and then put in a downslope like that. Okay. The vehicle now has an underside, and there's a ridged underside as well. So maybe that'll help deflect some incoming shots a bit. It might. It's worth trying, I suppose. 860? Okay, I'm okay for volume right now. Sort of. I'm going to need to compromise on some more armour still though. I'm going to compromise on the side armouring as well because... yeah. Let's do this. Oh, okay, side armour is now ridged. I'm going to leave the front armour at full thickness though, because this thing is supposed to engage head on. So compromising the front armour is the last thing I want to do, even with these volume saving measures going into effect in this tank. Because if the front armour fails, the entire darn tank is going to be having a few... how should I put that? Going to be having a few... technical difficulties. Yeah, that is a fair way to put it, I think. If the front armour fails, the tank is suffering from technical difficulties and will require a very lengthy call to tech support, involved lots of yelling and high blood pressure. Yeah, that doesn't sound very appealing at all, so try to avoid this thing having technical issues because it's a bit of a... It's not a bit of a dog, actually. It doesn't even have a beating heart yet, so I think that's what I need to fix next, to be honest. Let's see, what am I at? I am at 1824. Okay, I've shaved another 25 back. 25. That's not much. Will it be enough, though? We're going to find out. First things first. Stop mirror moding for a moment, because it's time to install the AI cores. Yep, AI cores coming in. That one there, and this one here. Then a local weapon controller like that. Doesn't need a failsafe on that one because that one is okay. Yeah. Actually, let's install that one there. And then I'll give this one just a flat-out card slot and a target. Prioritization. I thought I said predictor for a second there, I'm not sure why. But anyway, this AI core here is controlling purely this turret set here, which is the one connected to the missile turret. So this is the one that is going to be prioritizing. So I can get the settings up. Set everything to 0. You are going to prioritize the fastest, closest, highest flying vehicle you can get your hands on, and those missiles are very fast tracking, so they can actually turn around and double back and come back to nearby targets if that is what is engaging this vehicle. So if things gets reprioritised, the missiles will come about quite happily. They've got plenty of fuel, so that's an advantage of this setup, I suppose you could say. This one here is going to have the movement algorithms in it as well, so it requires 2 card slots. Yeah, it does require 2 card slots, so I'm going to put them like that. You require a land card, a target prioritization. Your prioritization is going to be go after whatever the hell is biggest, so biggest, closest target possible. Yeah, that'll do. And you'll love to hit things with a lot of weapons, so there we go. Biggest, closest, and the most weapons possible. So this thing is going to try to get hit practically very large, very heavily armed targets. That's what this main cannon is going to fire at. And lastly, actually, it's not a precision weapon, it just needs to flip and hit them, so I don't think I'll bother with an aim point thing actually, so I'll move the land card there, just scrap that out. The land card itself, let's see. Enter broadside below 500 meters, lead broadside above 510, nominal angle 0, so you're heading straight at it. Minimum range 100, idle approach. Actually, I'll set that to 0. No minimum range, but it'll stop moving at 50 meters and then just sit there and absolutely hammer whatever it is actually shooting at. So, yeah, that should do the trick. Okay. And then this card, of course, needs the wireless connection, since this is the primary AI. And that's also needed to connect to the primary turret. And then I'm going to start adding in stuff. So yes. Because this thing actually requires a whole bunch of processing cards and things to get its detectors working. So let's see, it needs an inter-vehicle transmitter as well, so there we go, that'll let it share targeting data with other things. And then it's flat out trying to put in... Where is it? I know it's in here. Oh, there it is. I lose things so easily sometimes, don't I? Okay. 1, 2, 3, which is a 53%, so that's actually pretty good. So 7, I think? Let's compact this AI down as much as possible. How's that doing? 84. Oh. That's 8. Will this do it? 100%. Okay. Is there another way I can do this? If I put this here, is it connected? Yes, it is. Okay, I can trim off another block. There we go. I'm even being stingy with my AI core. There we go. Whew. Very compact AI core, actually. Actually. Stinginess senses tingling. I've got 4 blocks on this. Right. Stingy, stingy, stingy. So I can attach one here as well, I think. Yep. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. Okay. 5. So I can pull 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, that is running at 100%. Still running at 100%. That means I can pull this block out as well. Oh god. How much can I shave off this thing? Slightly more compact. Wow. Sure. Okay. I guess that's the AI core then. Right. I can't believe I did that. Right. Okay. How much volume do I have left? Still over 150. That's a ton. Now then, I I need to add more stuff to this thing, so let's add a miscellaneous door in the back here. No, that's... oh, wait. Doors are under decorations, right. Let's have it open outwards. No, actually that because... yeah, like that. Darn it, I need to increase these to full metal blocks, it seems, but oh well. That's another 2 meters cubed gone. But there we go. Right. Then I add in the obligatory control chair. Like that. Actually, yeah, like there. And then I add the vehicle control ship wheel, because I actually prefer the layout on that thing rather than what the vehicle controller gives you, because it moves the accelerator toggles off to the side, and it's like, I'd rather they be in the same place. And then lastly, a fire control computer, which I shall actually turn on its side, and oh, I can't. I'm just going to tuck that there. Okay. So this thing now has command and control. Excellent. And still has nearly 150, so that's fine. Okay. Undock the Mantis because it's time for a bit of test driving. You are the Mantis. Teleport to you. Because it's time to install the backup drives. And oh yeah. You guys haven't seen the turrets turning, have you? As you can see, the missile turret is fairly responsive because it's a much lighter turret. The main artillery battery is actually kind of slow turning, but it gets there sooner or later. Like, hello there, I'm turning to face you. Would you mind waiting for a few minutes? I'll get there in the end. Like, haha, kind of thing. So yeah, that's all well and good. Also, as I said, I've installed the 3 meter vertical mantlets, so this thing can actually angle down. I've checked it, and it can angle down and hit things right next to it now, like that, you see. It's like, hello, you're next to me, good for you, bang, point blank. Blows its own barrels off, but still does a ton of damage. So yeah, the Mantis is actually looking fairly dangerous right now. But anyway, let's continue. I need to install power systems now. Next up is RTG. RTG. RTG, give me a 2 meter RTG. Yep. Give me a battery block. Problem is that a battery block adds like 40... It's at something like 40 horsepower per meter cubed? Something like that. And bigger batteries don't increase that efficiency, so... yeah. Even at full efficiency mode, this is not going to be a very capable machine, because it's got a lot of wheels to drive, so it might need a flipping 8 meter mark? 2 meter might not be enough. As you see, I'm watching every last meters cubed of volume at this moment. Well, it's doing something. It's not got enough power, but it's doing something. Let's get a temporary big RTG into this thing to actually give it a boost. Because can this motor provide enough power for it to actually get up to full speed? And more importantly, can it provide enough power to actually stay at full speed? Yes, it can provide enough power for that, and it's got an excess of... yeah, I can strip out another meter cubed here. Does it provide enough juice? No. Okay, it seems I need a bigger RTG though to actually keep it running. Right. It's all these being very careful with things approach. It's driving me a little bit cuckoo, to be honest. Not that that takes much, I must admit. Not that that takes very much at all. Okay. And a 4-meter RTG isn't enough. Okay, I need the big RTG back to get that power back up, because this, I need to see, is it worth decreasing the efficiency slightly to still have enough power kind of for me to actually keep that running? I can sacrifice about 50 output, so I can drop this to about 260. That's added only 6% efficiency though, so I don't think that's going to be enough. It's not. I need more RTG input to keep this thing rolling along. Will a 2-meter do it? No. Another 4-meter then it's going to have to be, I think. Yep, okay, 8 meters worth of RTGs is enough to do this. Reducing the efficiency of the electric engine did not help enough, so I can take that off, and I've got 8 meters cubed worth of batteries. This thing will run on 7, so I should swap that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that should be enough once it gets charged up. Just give it the RTG to make absolutely sure. Got to bear in mind, this RTG's job when I'm spawning it in will be taken over by other vehicles, since it will still share a bit of energy, or at least it'll get a bit of energy from other places as well. But yeah, there we go. It's maintaining. Oh, it's not quite enough. This is going well, isn't it? So, I do need that 6% efficiency. That is critical. Fine. Okay. Let's get that installed then. Give me the medium block, because I'm being a massive Scrooge. Give me 6% extra efficiency like that, because that will get this thing up to speed. And all stop, because I am. Yeah. There we go. Okay. I am actually wandering off quite some distance doing testing like that, so I need to get the thing back while I continue my modifications. Come back over here if you please, Mr. Mantis. I need you. I want you for your body, because I need to sculpt you in my image. Yes. Okay, right. We've got the backup power system. When it's at full power, it will sustain this tank in full motion. So, hooray for that, I suppose. Yes. Okay, next up. This thing needs ammo, which is a slightly critical matter. And since I've switched the order, rather than having it in the back of the tank where it'll be better protected, and I think is a major reason why its predecessor has never actually been killed by an ammo explosion, because of how it was positioned, as well as the fact that its ammo was well armoured. This one is going to suffer from the whole fact that I have to be an absolute cheapskate with the armouring now, and yeah. So this is going to be great. Great for its survivability. Actually, I should angle these outwards to help deflect things. Yeah, like that. Sure. Okay. And then I just go across the top, like so. And what have I got? Volume is at 1899. I have 100 to go. Okay. And my storage. I know that's taken a massive chunk. Oops. Oh yeah, mirror mode. Yep, 1935. That's taken a massive chunk out of it. Oops, I alt-tabbed by mistake. Cheap-ass armouring on the front because this thing is going to get blown to hell really, really easily. And then... I'm not sure how tough this is going to be honest. It's not very good. We're going to find out. We're going to find out, but the bulk of this thing's defense is in its shaping right now, rather than its actual durable design, which is a problem with me building it a bit too big, unfortunately. So now it's going to get its shields. Shield. That's under miscellaneous. Here we go, shield. Projector. Sadly for a projector I need to actually have an engine, because this thing needs a... I need fuel storage as well. Darn it. Okay. This is all getting a bit too... There's only so much I can shave off this thing. That's the problem. There is only so much. Oh well. Where am I going to put the fuel engine? Where am I going to put the fuel? Let's put the fuel engine at the back here. I'm going to be polluting myself again. Actually, there's not enough space at the back. It's going to have to be at the front, which is going to... That's actually a really, really, really horrible idea. Right. Cramped things for the win. Cramped things for the win. Did move that chair. Move the ship's wheel to here. So as you control this ship, its wheel is constantly smacking you in the face, because that is perfectly good. Controls over here, so you've got to do this odd little, like, drive with one hand, weapons on the other, like frantically going, I'm driving on this side, I'm firing on this side, and I can't see a darn thing because there's no cameras or monitors, and ergonomics this vehicle does not have at all. Jeez. Okay. Fuel engine. Generator. Here. Actually, no, I need it low. Here. Crankshafts. Well, a daft thing is that, you know the exhaust pipes? I figured this out while building the ASB. Exhaust pipes, while they look really, really thin, they are actually absolutely horrible. As in, they each take up 1 meter cubed of volume. So it's not great. This is going to need a... How much space have I got? 158. Yeah, so each exhaust takes 1 meter cubed, and when you're in such a tight situation like this, it can't really sustain it. This can produce 800, 1,200 power. Is that's actually a fair bit. Yep, that's a fair bit. So I need to put in some fuel now. Let's actually drop this lower layer of armour out and replace the armour underneath it with heavy instead, like that. So a little bit more internal space there for the fuel storage. This thing's going to need a whole bucket load of fuel as well. I can't afford to install a bucket load of fuel storage, so 4 meter boxes, 12,000 fuel, that's going to have to be enough. But anyway, this thing is now actually ready to fire up. Sort of. Yeah, sort of. That's the problem, isn't it? Okay, that's functional. It should stay operational. It's got enough cooling, sort of. Okay, time to start putting shields into drive on this thing and work out the actual defences. Miscellaneous, give me the shield, projectors, not changes, the projectors. You are reflective mode, yep. Reduce your range to as low as possible to save power. Because again, got to be frugal, got to keep it low. 1.5, that's perfect. The elevation needs to be that way, so 35 degrees. Yeah, that seems that's fine. Okay. Width. I can't see it. Why is it not? Where's it gone? Why can't I see this thing? Oh. I was moving the wrong slider. There it is. Yeah, for some reason that was a bit of a graphical glitch. I couldn't see it. Right, so extend it to a 19 meter width. Give it a height to cover the front of the tank, like a 19 by 19. Sure. How does that cover the tracks? That's not wide enough for the tracks, so it needs to be cranked. Yeah. That looks okay. Range is low. Power is pretty darn low. If it's at 3.5, that's 87 power. That is, Actually, the RTG can fuel movement by itself. So I can have an ACB turn off the fuel engine when the tank's not actually in a battle. So that's good. This thing has enough armor, even with the compromises, to withstand some hits. So there is that. These shields are going to be a bit more expensive, though. Let's see. Azimuth should be at, I think, again 25. How's that look? 25. How is that? Oh, the shields are on their sides. Of course they are. No, wait, no, they're not. I'm tweaking the wrong thing. I'm sorry, it's been one of those days. And of course that's wrong as well. Give me the minus 25. Give me the height to get up on top of the tank, hopefully. Is that... No, but I can actually angle it better, so... by the way, I know that you can stop it from spinning around like this when you're moving things on the sliders, and I don't know how, so... If you guys know how to do that, I'd be much obliged if you would share this arcane secret with me, because this is a bit annoying sometimes, trying to fiddle with and fine-tune stuff. Like, I need to actually increase the angle further to 40, I think. There we go. Okay, yeah, that'll cover the outer track as well. Excellent. And that, it's a bit too tall, though. A bit too tall. I can drop that further. Yep. That still provides adequate cover for everything. Great, okay. Now I just need to make it longer. There you go, that provides side cover for everything. Excellent. Yeah, that looks fine. That looks quite nice. Again, just like with the ASB, the corners aren't covered too well because of the angles and things, so maybe I should install some more local shield projectors there, but they'd be sitting out exposed on top of the tracks, which would not quite be what I'd be after. Strength 3.5, which you guys told me is good on a reflective shield for reflecting incoming ballistics, especially with an angled shield like these, so that's some extra defense there. What the heck just happened? Oh. I accidentally clicked middle mouse button, so it went to automatic, and then I erased the shield I was just working on. Luckily I copied it to clipboard, so I can just immediately restore it like that. Actually, I can move that further forward. What happens if I put it there? What does it look like from there? Ooh, that is actually pretty great cover there. Yeah, the rear of the vehicle is slightly exposed, but the front is more valuable, so the front deserves more protection. So, yeah, that's a good spot for it actually. Just need to copy the settings across to this one. That's drained a bit more power, okay. That's looking better. Also need a rear shield as well to make sure that the back side of this tank's covered. Do I still want to have a shield on the actual turret though? That is a question. Do I want a shield on the turret? I'd have to say yes. I think I do want a shield on the turret as well. So reflector mode, a 3.5. I can definitely cut down the engine a bit. Give me the full width. Reduce the rate. No, that's not the right one. I need to put it in closer because there's so much here. Angle, elevation. This one. 30 degree looks okay. Height upwards like so. And yeah, that provides cover for most of the back of the tank. Yeah, that's looking good. 61 drain, so I can actually increase that a bit further. Just to cover the back of the turret as well, so yeah. Yeah, that looks okay. Yeah, like that. That's great. Can I get it any closer? Can I scrape off a little bit more power? I've got to be frugal, you know. I can't... Got to be frugal, got to spare that little bit of power. Yeah, sure. I'm taking that way too far, but I'm enjoying myself, like, laughing at how silly it is, how much I'm trying to fit the last few scraps of functional equipment into this tank. So, yeah. Anyway, I want to install on this turret here, which is actually still a really nice looking turret, I think. I want to install the shield projector on the front. Actually, I want it to be facing upwards like that. Yeah. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Solid the turret so I can actually see. Since this thing is going to be pointing where the main cannon points. It's about 1.5 good? No, that's not... I want it to be at 2 actually, I think. No, 2.5? 2.5. Yeah, 2.5 I think, roughly. Since if you're trying to match a shield to a sloped block, on the 45 degree slopes, you need to increase it by 0.5 increments, depending on where you want to go. So if you put it at 1.5, it's level with the surface of a flat block. 2.5 puts it up there. And now I want to drop the elevation, I think it is. Yeah, drop that to 45, yes. Actually, I should increase it to 3.5. That way, it's got a little bit of cover. 3.6 actually to make it a little bit stand out a little bit, and that will actually cover the front of the missile turret as well. So this will help cover both the turrets. Yeah, that should be okay, I think. Height 10. Right, 5, 6, 7. Width 9, I think. Yeah, that's a 9, that's okay. Effect strength 3.5. Now, because I've got the range up, this one is actually slightly costly for its size, but it's also a really small shield as well, actually. Just intended for localized defense, so it's okay. I can actually increase the height a little bit more. Let's increase it to 12. Yeah, so it's got a bit more cover of the actual firing pieces. Yeah. That looks alright, and this thing is quite heavily shielded, and I've got 400 power I can strip out. That's actually one entire... I need to be on the build mode for the actual tank itself. Yeah, for volume saving and stuff, I can actually strip out an entire cylinder because of that. So that's pretty solid. Oh, don't you rev at me. Oh, you've not got enough power. Darn it. I need 400 performance out of this thing. So either I get it cooling properly, or I get yeah, either I get it to cool off and run a bit better, or I'm going to be overloading my stuff. Has that radiator helped? Yes, it has. Okay, the radiator's brought the power back into positive. Only just. Okay, what else can I save? Where else can I save precious, precious volume on this thing? Because I've already got this thing venting exhaust fumes straight into my face. Actually, I can save a little bit of space here as well. Yeah, lovely space. Because I can move this entire assembly over by one. Now, how is this saving space? Because I can combine the exhaust in the middle, you see, into a single block instead of two. So, hooray, another meter cubed of space saved. I feel so flipping ridiculous when I'm doing stuff like this. Oh, jeez. And of course I'm going to angle these pipes out the back so that they need to point in my general direction, because I must be breathing fumes from them or something like this if I'm thinking this way and enjoying it. Can I save... Oh god. Can I save a meter cubed if I make the radiator a little bit smaller? Why am I thinking that? Flipping heck. I mean, I've got 20 odd meters cubed left in volume of this thing. I don't need to. I don't need to. But, can I make this smaller and still work? Can I save it? You know what, for funsies I'm gonna try. Where's the flipping... Okay, here we go. The radiator standard size ones, let's see if this will work. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remove the big one. Will power still be positive? Come on, you can do this. Wait a second. I'm going about this wrong. Oh, darn it. I forgot something kind of important. I forgot this thing needs power to move as well. 250 power to be precise. This is not going to work. Why? Damn it. That's what happens when I overthink things. And when I'm going a bit cuckoo like I am now. Okay, that's a bit more power. 185 worth, that's not enough. Put that there, what happens then? I need 250 excess power from you. Come on. Come on, cooling. Come on, you can do this. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. And you can't. Actually, I have to divert this thing so it's not giving any power to the battery. The batteries are... Wait, the battery's not charging up properly? What? The battery should be charging up fine. Oh. Well, that was inevitable, wasn't it? Ah. Okay, I do need that third engine. Oh, well, at least I had fun working it out, so... Yay. Hooray for me, I guess. Yeah, I had fun working it out, so hooray for me. Right. Okay, I can take that top one off, because I don't need it, since I'm using just the these things, like that. And there we go, that gives me enough excess power to survive in full motion. So yeah, that'll do that. And if I turn off my resource gathering, I think I hit it by accident and disabled it. But yeah, this thing will last okay. It's I've got enough fuel reserves to last for a while, so even if this engine is not exactly that efficient. Okay, sure. This beast of an engine is giving me plenty of exhaust fumes to inhale, so I guess I'm satisfied with that. Okay, that's another 5 meters cubed I need to use up now, which will give me like 10 meters cubed left in the end of the day. Let's see. Wait, was that a hole in the... No. Okay. This is going to be on the shields, of course. Specifically the colour changes to get the things hidden. So yeah, copy that. Something that annoys me about the shield changes, colour changes actually, is the fact that they can only attach to the side. You know? You can't attach them to the back of the block back here, you've got to put them on the side. So that does irritate me just a little bit. So yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, if I put it like this, then like that, as you can see, it doesn't count as a block like that, so I can't mount it on it. But if I put it like that and then paste that into that, it's not done anything. So I need to put it on the side. I can't put it underneath because that's in the way of the door. So that's going to have to be there. So yeah, just ignore this little chink in the rear armour, please, whoever's shooting at this thing, because it is there. And I didn't mount it right anyway, of course. There we go. So yeah, that's the thing. Oh well. Then I need to go into the turret and do the same for its forward shield, and I noticed that the side shields have not gone invisible, so I've messed something up there as well. Now, what did I do? Give me mirror mode so I can go ahead and... I almost called it mirror node. Mirror node. Mirror node. I don't know. That's in the correct place. Paste to all, and that should do it. Okay, all shields are now invisible. Excellent. And look at all that smoke coming out of the back. Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, if you're driving this thing, you're in an extremely healthy environment. Especially since the only exhaust vent is around the closed door for the control room. And oh dear, you can see the wood. You can see that. Pull that forward and shift it to here. Yeah. Okay, that's slightly hidden now, and you're just sitting over to one side very awkwardly trying to control this thing. Sure. Now, there's only a few little bits and pieces left to do now before this thing is actually fully functional. I'm sure you'll be glad to hear, given how long I've been going on. What is this? I just checked. I think it's gone on 2.5, nearly 3 hours now. If you're still here, congratulations. But still. Anyway, advanced cannons. Something I never actually did was actually give this thing its ammo settings. So I'm doing that now, while I've still got a little bit of block space left. I should have done this much sooner. And I'm going to copy over the shell settings I used on the ASB. So that is high explosive warhead straight to the face, effectively. Again, this is an awkward design. You guys did... I actually got a lot of criticism for this design, but I'm going to maintain the point that this is supposed to be... This makes this advanced cannon function a bit like a hybrid with a cram cannon. It's like a cram cannon that doesn't have the raw kick, but instead gives you a lot more control over what you're trying to do to it. So yeah, it's like that. Otherwise, with a crown cannon, you're just trying to, like, if I put this on here, it'll do this. If I'll take it off, it'll do this. Just trying to get everything actually lined up and proper where you want it is a very, very hard thing. I mean, a very, very hard thing with a crown cannon. They are, by necessity, a kind of sloppy system to work with. If you're aiming for high precision, it's not really a good one for that. It's a very powerful system, I admit that, but it is still a very low precision system. And assign that turret to Group 1 as well. Okay. Now, the other turrets. Group 2 for you, just like on the ASB. So I've got the weapons in different control groups. Where is the thingy? Here is the thingy. You are on Group 2. Your accuracy requirement is 90 degrees. Okay. So, yeah. There we go. This thing's a bit light on the ammo side of things, I am afraid. But I can't really help that. What's my volume at? 1991 now. All essential elements are mounted. Everything required is in its place. All that's left now is trying to reinforce it a little bit, I suppose. Yeah, let's install some metal blocks. N, I'm going to put some metal heavy armor blocks into here. Oh, I'm not even on heavy armor blocks. Doi. Okay. I'm going to reinforce this front section a little bit with some heavy armor, like that. Just to give it a bit of extra protection from the front, because it does need it. Should I reinforce the central stripe as well, actually? Yeah, let's reinforce the central stripe as well. So like that. So yeah, this thing has got some heavy armoring going on to try and help it survive a little bit. It's not purely heavy armor, and it's probably going to take massive damage from EMP style weaponry, but it looks okay. I think I've got everything sorted out now. And I've only got a few meters cubed left, 1991. Not enough for any embellishments or major modifications. All I can really do, I think, is try to reinforce the front a bit more. 3. 6. Actually, no, let's put this aside here. 6. 9. And that's took it to exactly 2,000. Yeah, that was all I could add. Like this single reinforcing beam across the front, and then that's it. That's all I could fit into this tank. So, yeah. Okay. The Mantis is, I think, completed! Hooray! Let's drop it and see what it can do. Bang. Sadly, it won't live up to its original promise of being faster than the ASB, because the ASB has more powered tracks, sadly. But it's doing okay apart from that. Here's the missile system. Fire it off. Spin the laser around. As you can see, it just like, come on, over here. No, I want you to go over there. Come on. Where have they gone? Yep, oops. Come on, dance with me. Over here. Yep, there they come. Follow the pretty lights. And that's it, they're out of fuel. Okay. But they did a complete lap around the tank, actually, so that's pretty good. Okay, main cannons. We need to know what their cooldown is on this. No. Yeah. Oh, you know what I forgot to add? Whoa! Actually, what was that? What was that rate of fire? What's the cooldown on these things? That was pretty fast. What are they? Cooldown of 9.27. Actually, that's not bad at all. Not too bad at all. The clips and things can definitely keep up with that, so I can leave that firing pretty quickly. If I install some firing delays on this is going to be actually, yeah. If I install 2-second delays on things, no, 2.5 second delays? Now let's add a 1.5 second delay to it. Yeah. That means this one will be at a 3 second delay. And then this one over here will be at a 4.5 second delay. That will allow this thing to fire. It's going to be an off and on burst style attack, but even so, heavy artillery shells should be pretty soon. Yep, there goes the next round. So yep, it's that's not right. What the heck's going on? Especially since all the cannons are actually even. They should not be staggering like that. Oh yeah, I forgot. Freaking delay. The delay doesn't kick in until you actually until the shells are actually fully reloaded. So that means that this one is delaying by 3 seconds every time a shell loads. So, frig, can't do that. That would explain part of one of the ASB's problems, why it was staggering its fire too much. I figured this out when I was building the cookie wagon, and then I forgot about it again. So, every 10 seconds. 4 rounds every 10 seconds. That's 6, 12, 24 rounds per minute. Should I? Can I? Is there a way I can limit this? I don't think there is. Not anymore, anyway. Let's set a maximum firing rate into this thing of 24 rounds per minute. So, yeah, it's 24. The problem is, I don't think this maximum fire rate applies across the weapons. It doesn't divide it, so it applies on a per weapon basis. So this should fire all 4 barrels anyway. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. Still 10 seconds. I think that's better than the ASB. Oh, hang on. Okay, right. Something's wrong with the cannons. Definitely wrong with the cannons. Cooldown 6? Cooldown 9? What? But they're built equally! I'm pretty darn sure I built these things equally. What the hell is going on? 1, 2... I've not messed things up, have I? Don't think I have. No, I haven't. They should be equal. Oh wait, hang on. Aha! Okay, found the problem. These are not actually connected. Whoops. Silly me. Okay, those are now connected to the respective firing pieces. Those are all connected okay. Right, so as part of the initial design, another slip-up that got in there apparently was that part of the cooling systems for the central 2 cannons was out of circuit. So, hang on. Test firing again. Make a nice satisfying blast. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fixed it. Those are all firing every 6 seconds. Well, 7 seconds, bit close enough, but that is still pretty nice, actually. Let's try staggering them again. Stagger you by 1.5 and then just start test firing again. Come on. Right. See if I'm actually right or if I'm wrong or if I'm blowing smoke. I want to make sure this darn thing works. Now, that was 1.5 after the main shells fired, so come on. Okay, right. Seems I was just blowing smoke earlier. Sorry about that. I'm very easily confused right now, as you probably saw earlier. Okay, it seems I'm right about the staggering fire, I think. Maybe? Possibly? Kinda, sorta? I don't know. I hate being confused. Anyway, 4.5 on this one. That should be more or less staggered. It's not quite an even staggered fire rate, but it is pretty regular regardless. And this should be even after this next shell fires. Nope, not even at all. Okay, right, yep. I was... Damn it all. I was wrong, I was right, I was wrong, I was right. I wish I could make up my darn mind. But, yeah. It's applying as I suddenly decided it was and then decided it wasn't. The firing delay is adding steadily to the firing rate of each cannon, so it's not... They're going rapidly out of sync. If you're wanting to stagger fire, this will not work. You need to combine it to a single system. Which is a shame, but... yeah, it's definitely only counting the firing delay based on when the shell gets loaded, not when the thing is the actual triggering key has been put into action, kind of thing. But anyway, enough of that. That's enough about that. Cannons now fully functional. Where am I? Oh, up front. Bloggle. I'm definitely going insane. Which I'm sure you guys will only encourage because it makes me more entertaining or something. Let's see, I need to add another heavy on block here. Right. No, that's not. I need 4, which means I've got 5 remaining. Which means I can install 1 reinforcing beam here and then call it quits pretty much. Okay, right. ACBs! Here come the ACBs. The oh so important ACBs. Right. Controls. ACBs. Yep, if you want to control the ACBs from the control chair, you've got to reach past everything else and just, like, balance on top of the fire control computer or something. Yeah, it's not ideal. An enemy is out of range or greater than 5 kilometers, then turn off your shield blocks. Just find them. Here we go. Shields off. There we go. That'll spare power. And also, when enemy is out of range, where's the fuel engine one? Fuel engine set maximum RPM to 0. So test that. That should have killed off the oh, mirror mode. Curse you, mirror mode. Right. That should be a maximum RPM of 0 right now. Current RPM 0. Max power 1200. Ramp up time, battery charge, maximum drive 0%. Okay, yes, that is fine. Okay, so this thing will turn off its fuel engine as well to save on resources. Geez, there's only 725 fuel left, I better give it some more. Oh, or I would be. Am I just too far away from the... I think I'm too far away from the fuel tanks actually to give it the fuel. Eh, whatever. It's fine for testing. Then, if it detects a target within its range, enemy range is less than 5 kilometers, then fuel engine will become fully available again, and again, enemy range is less than 5 kilometers. Trigger your shields into reflection mode, ready to bounce enemy bullets off them. Okay. Right, yeah. Now, test this to see how the engine comes back into play. The engine comes back into play in the form of max RPM 1, battery charge 0. Yep, that's about what I thought. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I think that's actually about it. Hooray! Done! It's taken me ages, but hey, I commented once that I build really, really slowly. I was not joking at all, because this is how long it's taken me to build this darn thing, the Mantis. It is now functional. It's how much volume has it got left? 2 meters cubed. Oh, that's all it's got left. Can I use that 2 meters for anything? Let's. Oh, I know. Let's install a couple more explosive barrels right next to the AI. That sounds perfectly safe. Yeah. Okay. That's it. Yes. Done. Right. Donezo. Mantis fully operational. All that's left is the speed test. So, forwards. Show me how fast you can go. Should be fairly fast. 30. Yeah, that's looking good. 32, 33, 34, 35. Oh, can you show me a 36? Show me a 36. 36. Okay. Topping out at just over 36. I think it's going to top out flat at 36.5. Nope, 36 flat. Okay. Why are you losing power again, you... Ah! You know what? Fine. You win, Mantis. You win. Sheesh. Okay. You win. I'll give you your darn RTG. I'll give you your darn RTG if you'll just maintain power at full speed, please. There we go. Extra RTG power. Accelerate. Well, the vehicle won. I did what it wanted. And yep, now it's maintaining power while it goes. Okay. Flipping blackmailing metal abomination. Oop. Turns okay. Yeah. That turns okay. Sure. Okay, this is the Mantis, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you like it. It's going to replace the ASB. It's actually a little bit tougher, I think, maybe. It's definitely better armed. It's more compact. Better shielded. The armour's a bit compromised on all sides except the front, though, because it's got a bigger body. But yeah, this is the Mantis. The new artillery tank with its slow-moving, highly sloped artillery-style turret. Intended to just smack things with high explosives over and over and over again until they die. Yeah. It's a glorious mission in life, isn't it? So yes, that should be good. Hit the brakes. Come on, pull up next to your brethren, please. Thank you. But yeah, with that done, I have achieved what I set out to do with this particular... Stop going backwards now, thank you. I actually want you to pull out next to it for the final screenshot and image, thank you. The slipping thing won't cooperate, will it? Nope, it's going too far forwards now. Yeah, that is the end of this particular intermission video, because I've actually done what I set out to do and made a better tank when it obeys me. Stop, stop it, stop it, stop it, cut power, stop rolling please. I wish these things had brakes on them. Stop. Hey, there we go. Okay, yes. Yeah, I've actually wound up with something very different here. yeah, as I said, that is it. So, if you've stuck with me this far, congratulations. I hope it wasn't as boring for you as I think it was. As I said, there's a reason I cut this kind of thing out after a while. But yeah. Actually, let's cut down the ASB for the final shot because I'm getting the thumbnail. You see, boink. You are down on the ground. Yeah. The thumbnail shall be this. This is the thumbnail. So yeah, there we go. That's the thumbnail right there. Perfect. So yeah, sorry for taking like 3 hours of your time with this, but that's how long it takes me to build things sometimes, and I can see my tank rolling forward again. Oh well. The next video will be an actual numbered video of this series, so yep, you'll be seeing this thing in action along with the other Mark III series tanks in the next video against white flayers, and I think I'll probably be trying some territorial expansion or something like that, trying to cut off the flow of enemies a little bit. And yes, this thing is definitely rolling forwards. Stop it, please. Oh, yep, full reverse. You can see the wheels spinning, and now it's going too far back. So yeah, there we go. Stop it. I wish space was a brake. It's not. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thank you very much if you actually stuck with it this far. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I'll catch you some other time. I'll see you later. Oops. Turning's a little bit awkward. Whoa.